Hi everybody, I'm Laurie Bates and I'm from Create Better Health SNAP Ed program. We are USU Extension affiliated and our lessons are taught from USDA recommendations. Let's get started. Today we're going to talk about grains and making a wrap or a sandwich. It'll be on the handout that we have located in the comment section below. And it looks like this, and it will take you from step by step by step, 4 steps, not too many, of how to make a wrap or a sandwich. Wraps and sandwiches are a great way to incorporate more than one food group. So when we're talking about the food group, we're talking about all the different colors and food groups that we have on there. And it's important to try and get those particular food groups into your meals during the day. So it's also a good way to add whole grains, right? Because we're using usually a whole grain or some type of bread on the outside. Or it could be a vegetable like lettuce, like a lettuce wrap or something along those lines. Okay, and then making wraps and sandwiches at home rather than buying them is so much more budget friendly, and who doesn't need more money these days, right? Okay, so they are often associated with lunch, but it doesn't have to be. You can have them for breakfast or dinners. It's very quick and easy and a healthy way, like I said, to get all of your food groups in. Okay, so today we're going to go ahead and make an apple tuna wrap, and we're going to start with the type of apple that you would like to have, and this looks like a golden delicious, but it's actually called it's a new one called an OG, and so anyway, I was excited to give this a try, something new, something different. And I've rinsed this ahead of time to make sure it's nice and clean for us. And then I'm going to take a knife and just kind of lop off the top and the bottom. And the reason why is because it gives the peeler something to grab onto when you are peeling it. I'm going to take our core, but you could take a knife and just core it, or just cut it in half. That would work okay too. Just put that down the center, and that takes that right out of the center of the apple, which makes it really convenient and easy to do. Especially if you have children in the home that you would like to start teaching how to cook, this would be a really nice gadget for them to use. Or one of those apple slicers that you push down and it does all the slices and the coring. That's also a really, really good idea. Okay, so then if you want to peel it, then at this time you're going to take and put your peel against the inside fiber part, and then watch your fingers, and then just kind of go down and get all the peelings off. Now if you want to keep the peelings on, then that is great because it will add fiber to your dish and vitamins and more minerals and etc. So that's a really good idea, and I actually like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the rest of this peel on, but I wanted to show you how to get that peel off and how much easier it is once you've lopped the top and bottom off. Okay. All right, then we're going to go ahead and cut that in half so that it's flat on the cutting board and it's not wobbly like this. See how wobbly that is? We want it to be as secure to the cutting mat as we can get it so that we're always knife safety, right? You can also use a grater if you wanted to, which I think is a real handy way to get this cut up in a fast, easy way. And keep your fingers curved and your thumb in. I tell the kids to do the bear in the cave. So here's the cave, here's the bear, and it goes in, and that helps you, remind you of how that should be done. Just kind of go the width that you want. And I would say smaller is good because then you're less likely to choke on your ingredients that are included in your filling. So I'm just going to stack these up a few at a time, and then go down straight, and just the width that I would like. And I would say it's maybe 1/4 of an inch, not very big at all. Okay, and then get that all nice and cut up. And we're going to need 1 whole medium apple. This one was a little bigger, I think, but we'll go ahead and see how it does. Okay, so once you get that all going, let's get our bowl, and we'll go ahead and start adding that so that our cutting board will get freed up a little bit. All right, good. So this is going to be sweet, the sweet part of our sandwich. And then we have the tuna that will be more of a savory flavor, salty flavor. Sweet and salty always taste good together, right? I always like it. Okay, so get that all done. Or you could almost just layer these sticks, if you wanted, onto your tortilla that you're using. You could just put them right in the center like this, and then that would also be a good way to also get that. Let me see if I can pick this up. Get that apple in there, okay? You could do it that way too. All right, and we have chosen for our wrap today, for our whole wheat, we used a whole wheat tortilla. You can buy those in the store, and they usually come in a larger size, like the 10-inch, 12-inch size. So you probably will not find them in the 8-inch size. At least I haven't. So if you found them, then in the comment section you'll have to let me know where you found them, because I think they're hard to find. Okay, so get those all done and put in, and I believe, I don't know for certain, but the spinach and the tomato ones are also just in the larger size, so just beware. But the white ones seem to be in all the different sizes. And half our grains need to be refined and half need to be whole. So if you're needing your refined, you could use the white flour tortilla. Okay, so we've got all that in here. Kind of get that broken up and looking really nice. And then we're going to go ahead and do 1/4 of a cup of Greek yogurt of your choice, whatever kind you like. I bought this one because it was littler. And when you're cooking for 1 or 2 people, it's always a good thing to buy in the smaller quantities of things so that you don't have a lot of waste. Okay, we're just going to put that 1/4 of a cup in there, and then we'll measure our mayo, light mayo. And adding a Greek yogurt to this is really nice because it will give some protein to your filling. All right, then let's go ahead and add 1/4 of a cup of mayonnaise. And normally you would be putting in 1/2 cup of mayonnaise instead of the 1/4, but we halved our mayo so that we can add Greek yogurt to it, and it's healthier for us that way. And then hopefully you have your sink full of water, which I do, and then we'll put that in there in a minute here. Hopefully it doesn't tip over. Okay, so we're going to get this mixed in just like this. Now how you do your fillings is up to you and what your family likes and what you like. So just kind of think things through and think about some things that maybe your family might like. Alright, so that's all done. And then we're going to go ahead. I bought some tuna in water, and we're going to drain that. Go ahead and open it. Rinse your cans so they're nice and rinsed off, so you don't have to worry about getting stuff into your food. Okay? So have a bowl ready where you can drain that water. That all drained, it'll be kind of, packed in there, and we're just going to put that right in there. Okay, we'll mix that in. Ooh, this is looking really good, huh? And it's going to add some nice crunch in there with that apple, which will be nice too. Get our nuts ready. We can use walnuts, you can use macadamias, pecans, 1/4 cup of walnuts that are chopped. So go ahead and chop those up as small as you'd like them, or as big as you want them. It's up to you. I like mine small, somewhat, so that nobody chokes on it. If you've got elderly or young kids, it's best to get it as small as you can. Take our 1/4 cup measuring cup and get that filled in. If you have a little extra, add it in versus throwing it away, or eat it. Have a snack. That would work out really well too. All right, so we got, oh, this is looking so beautiful, don't you think? Look how pretty. All right, and then we're going to do some pepper and salt at this point. Not very much, just a little bit, to give us an 1/8 of a teaspoon, to give us a little bit of bite to it. And I think this is a 4, so we'll just do half, just enough. I don't like a lot of pepper, but if you do, then go for it. What's wrong? There's no salt in this. So we don't have to worry about salting it, because it makes sense. The tuna is pretty salty already. That makes a lot of sense. Another thing that I think would be good is a little paprika. Maybe some smoked paprika would be good in here. And get our spinach going, and I have some that are ready to go. Just 2 tablespoons-ish. And you'll notice I have like a paper towel in here. Right here. And I'm going to keep that in there because it has a tendency to have some moisture in there. And that moisture will put mold and bacteria onto your packaged lettuce and spinach. So you can do this with your pre-done lettuce, or lettuce that you've done at home that's not pre-done. Well, any of those would be great. So let's go ahead and stack our spinach just like that and get it all. See if we need some extra here in a minute. And then we're going to roll. I'm going to go ahead and, you don't have to. Matter of fact, the stems add a little more crunch too, but I'm going to. I'm going to take those off so that it's nice and flat. And then let's just roll this up like so and make it into like a Tootsie Roll type of look. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of the spinach. And just watch your fingers, make sure you don't get those ribboned as well. And if that's too long, go ahead and go the other way and get those the size that you need them. And I'm just going to do a hefty amount of an overheaping tablespoon of spinach. You can never have too much spinach, right? Okay, look at that. The colors are gorgeous. They're just popping and giving our filling that added color that it needs. And so then we're going to take our flour tortilla, and I'm just going to warm this in the microwave for a couple seconds, not very long, okay? And what that does is it gets it more pliable, because when you buy it from the store, it's a little stiff. And you could do it in a saute skillet if you don't have a microwave. Just both sides a little bit, just warm it up and get it kind of toasty and yummy. And then if you have a microwave, just a couple of seconds, not very long. This is very easy to fold now, and it's very workable now that I've put it in the microwave. And then we're just going to let that cool just a teeny bit because it's still kind of warm. Put this in the middle, not too full, but enough to where it's got a really good filling. So then we have our filling in here all down the center, and then go ahead and fold both sides of this and wrap that other part over. It looks like an envelope right now, so kind of like that. And then keep rolling it, kind of stuff your filling in, and then you've got yourself a wrap. Okay, and then we'll cut it at an angle so it's nice and pretty and easy to eat for that first bite. And there we go. Can you see that? There we go. So you can see how easy and quick this was. The thing I wanted to tell you too is that you can use the grater to grate your apple, and you just grate it till you get the amount that you need, and then you can add that to your sandwich as well. So either way, whatever is easiest for you. Right, so half of the things that we eat in grains every day should be half whole grains and half refined or enriched. So what is a whole grain? Well, we're talking like the whole grain sandwich that we have, that we use the whole wheat tortilla, corn tortillas, pita that's made, a half a pita is 1 serving, 1 whole corn tortilla is a serving, 6 graham crackers, the small ones like this, 6 of these, or 3 of the bigger ones. Some pretzels, okay, those are a whole grain. Some quinoa, 1/4 of a cup of cooked quinoa is a grain. Oatmeal, pastas, crackers, you name it, these days come in whole grain form. So brown rice is another good one. Barley, millet, popcorn, right? We all like popcorn, it seems like, unless you have braces. And then it's probably not your best friend. So whole grains are an important part of our diet. Why? Well, because it's an important source of many nutrients like fiber and vitamin B, or vitamin Bs, lots of them, thiamine and niacin and folate, minerals like iron and magnesium and selenium. Those are all in those whole grains, and we need them for our bodies. Diets rich in these whole grains may help reduce blood cholesterol levels and may also lower heart disease, which we all need, right? And can help with obesity and type 2 diabetes. Most people who are a type 2 diabetic, they more than likely are eating mostly whole grains. Many of the health benefits of whole grains come from fiber that is in that whole grain. And why is fiber so important? Well, it goes in and it cleans our digestive system and our intestines. It helps things to work properly and transport cholesterol out of our body, which we need. And it keeps us feeling full longer, which is also a plus, especially if we're busy all day and we don't have time to take a snack break. It's good to have some whole grains to keep us full. Also, if we're doing any sports of any kind or running, that is also a good time to eat some whole grains. Perhaps you've heard of refined grains. And a refined grain is a grain, for example, that has been stripped of everything but something called endosperm, which is the white flour part of that grain. And so the germ is out, the brand is out, and they've just used that endosperm, which has some nutrients in it, but not as many if you were to eat the whole grain itself. Okay, so they have gone through a milling process, right? And enriched, why is it different? Well, enriched is milled the same way as refined grains, only some portions of the bran or the germ are added back in. Some examples of that are like flour. Flour is a good one. And then there's fortified grains, and these fortified grains are where nutrients are added to improve that nutritional value. You've seen sometimes in milk, it'll say vitamin D added, or maybe in other products you've seen where it says that something has been added to improve nutritional value, and that's where fortified comes in. And the nutrients added to these products are not the original part of that grain usually. Okay, so for example, if you had baby cereal, it normally wouldn't come with iron, but because babies need that iron, they're adding and fortifying that cereal with some iron, okay? And also with folic acid a lot of times. In breakfast cereals and stuff, they'll add some folic acid to it. So how many grains should we try to eat every day? Well, it really depends. And that's why I always try to tell you to go to myplate.gov and look in the charts. I'm trying to think, I think it says lifespan. And then it has a drop down, and you choose, are you a senior, are you ages from this, are you an adult? And then you go in and you will see your activity level, whether you're male or female makes a difference, and it will let you know approximately how many grains you should have every day. But on average, a woman should have 5 to 5.5 ounces, and a man should have on average 6 to 6.5 ounces. And an ounce is like a half of a pita bread, because this is really quite large. See how big that is? Like a corn tortilla, 1/4 of a cup of quinoa or rice. And also on pasta, it's a half a cup of pasta, 1 slice of bread, and then a half of a hamburger bun or a hot dog bun. So if you're going to eat a whole hot dog, it will be 2 servings, or a whole hamburger will be 2 servings. Pancake, about 4.5 inches in diameter is a serving. So if you have 3 pancakes, that's 3 servings for the day. And if you're an average woman, you would only have 2.5 more to eat. Now, 3 cups of popcorn is 1 serving. I know, huh, right? So this is a really good hand-to-mouth snack that you can have, quite a bit of when you're watching TV or whatever, but let's try and be easy on the things that we put on top of it, okay? A half a cup of cooked cereal, or a cup of regular cold cereal. Those are all 1 serving. All right, so then let's talk a little bit about balance and flexibility. as far as exercise? Well, balance is the ability for the body to maintain and be stable. So I'm not wobbling, I'm really, standing still, performing particular movements during the day around the house or in the yard, and so that we're not tipping and falling and having problems. Flexibility is a form of physical activity achieved through stretching and moving a joint. So stretch, move, stretch, move. So that's that range of motion that we're doing. The benefits include it decreases the risk of being hurt or injury, and increases the range of motion, improves athletic ability, and improves stability, and especially important for aging populations. Okay? Improved stability allows many older Americans to live independently longer, and we all want that. So decrease soreness. It will help you not be so sore when you are getting back into doing yard work or doing things that you normally don't do. Okay? So make a goal to try and be a little more flexible and balanced so that we're not tipping and falling. Really, really important. Thanks for joining me. Bye now.